Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm answering questions from the YouTube comments. Please do subscribe to my channel. I'm looking for your help to engage with growth. First comment we have comes from Ivan Shuckles, who commented, handsome. Now of course, I know you're just teasing me, and that's okay. You can make fun of my appearance. It happens on a daily occasion. And of course, also, that's a little bit gay. Like, nothing wrong with being gay. If someone's gay and they love me, that's fine. I'll take it. Take love from anywhere. Love is as many different forms as there are human beings. So thank you very much for your heckle, Ivan Shuckles. Next up, we have one from user TB7MI8KZ7H. This person says, I prefer to divide insanity into two parts. Number one, thinking insanity when 2 + 2 = 4 because it's Tuesday. And number two, perception insanity, aka schizophrenia. How do your three forms mesh with that? Well, user TB7MIHKZ7H, the things that I have said about insanity mesh perfectly well with that. In fact, it works very well to divide things in a number of different ways. You want to divide it into mind and perception, and that's very logical and very clear. I divide it into different ways of feeling and madness as a positive interior and an exterior relationship phenomenon. And what we really want to do is actually go on with that division, to have a different collection of divisions. You might be able to do it just in a internal, external way, in an emotional way or a head way, right? A heart-centered way and a mind-centered way. Like some people say there's insanity of the heart, craziness of the heart, and craziness of the head, which is very much also a feeling-mind division. And any way you think about it, any new kind of dissection or analysis or different way of thinking about it and thinking it up in your own way of thinking about it is going to do you good. You're creating your own insight. You're creating your own understanding of it. So that's very good. Thank you very much for your answer and question. Next up, I have one from Octo1122. This person says, I have a question that's linked to this video and the non-location video. Can non-location experience be used in different ways instead of just a place? For example, I'm a student. Can I use this to imagine a future state where I have good grades? And let's say I had bad grades before and there are feelings of disappointment and resentment towards myself in myself. So in short, can you use both non-location experience and the burning meditation method together to manifest a future where I get good grades? Thanks in advance. Well, Octo112, the answer is yes. And what you're discussing here is more of a traditional use of visualization. Now, when you visualize yourself getting good grades, you want to be able to visualize that moment, but also visualize the steps you're going to need to take towards getting that reality. Manifestation often leaves out the steps you need to go about doing that, right? The classic bare example of this is like, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, and I visualize myself with $1 million. I want $1 million, I want $1 million, going around and around. This doesn't work. This is not going to help you because you have to first visualize, I want $1 million, I want $1 billion. So what am I going to do just before that? And what's the step before that? And you work that back to where you are now and you realize, what's my first step towards getting $1 million? And you also quite rightly put out the feelings of disappointment and the resentment towards yourself. There's an emotional component to visualization, which is very good of you to point out. When you visualize something intensely and you're holding it in mind, what you'll notice is that the emotion, the underlying emotion changes. Normally what happens is we have a vision in the mind and an emotion that goes with it. Then the vision changes and your feeling changes. and so on and so forth. They're linked. But when you're visualizing, you notice that the feeling changes just because feelings do change, and you start to put a different feeling with that image. So then you're breaking apart this difference between the image in your mind and the emotion in your body. So the other thing I wanted to add to this is that non-location experiencing and visualizations like this can be used for traditional manifestation, helping yourself with your grades sort of things, but it can also be used for cosmic realization and existential gratification. So you can visualize yourself being on distant planets, visiting distant solar systems, going to other galaxies, talking with the divine, talking with aliens, talking with unicorns and self-transforming elves and all these sort of DMT entities and these sort of cosmic things. Yeah. So the traditional visualization of, I want to get good grades is applicable if you're doing it right and you're doing it well. And then there's also the far out weirdness stuff. So it's a very big subject. Yeah. Non-location experiencing, it's very big, because when you think about it, think about this. When I don't have to be in this place here, non-location, not this location, and I can be anywhere else, think of the possibilities. You can literally be anywhere else, whether it's real or imaginary or a fantasy world or anything else, right? Huge possibilities. So it's a very big realm to discover and explore. Next up, we have another one from Ivan Shuckles, who commented, "The real question is, what are you doing to change it, to stop it? Sometimes gazing into the sunset talking about it helps. Sometimes it resolves nothing." The answer to your question or statement is yes. And this was when we were talking about understanding the preciousness of life, understanding that when a friend or a family member dies, or someone we know, when they died, that's a reminder for us to realize, this is a precious moment. This is something I need to cherish. I do need to look at myself on a regular basis. And Ivan Shuckles, thank you very much for calling me out. Why am I making videos like this? Why am I talking into the void and making all sorts of mess in the digital sphere? Is this really what I want to be doing? Or do I need to be reminding myself more often? Like you say, you need to be taking steps to change it, to stop it. And of course, I've done a lot, right? I've very much had plenty of time to revel in the beauty and the mystery of life and the preciousness of each moment. So I am very fortunate to have had that time and to have that time ongoing. So thank you very much for that reminder. Next up, we have another few from Ivan Shuckles. One that says, "Can't say I agree with all your takes." Well, that's very much okay. We don't have to agree. Intelligent people do not care whether we agree or not. It is far much secondary to truth and progress of understanding. And you also say, "Not even smoking could ruin your gorgeous face. I hope your week is safe, kinkyful, and productive." Okay, so that's another gay comment making fun of my ugly my ugly face. Thank you very much for that. You're obviously someone who doesn't like to look at me, so sorry about being on camera and so much in front of the camera. But I actually have one of my first episodes ever on this channel was about ugly people, right? And it was a bit of a reflection on my experience of being ugly. I think it was probably the first episode, maybe the second video I ever did, or one of the very early ones. Anyway, thank you, Ivan Shuckles, for your heckling. Next up, we have one from Lynn's Vids 3847. Lynn's Vids is a regular commenter as well, so thank you very much for your continued comments. Lynn's Vids says, "Material crap didn't really make you happy for long. Also, we own nothing here. It's just on loan till the next person needs it. Same with people as well. Comes and goes based on energy." That is exactly right, and a wonderful reminder. The material things that we have are just temporary, and they don't do much to help with lasting realization, lasting happiness. Another one from Ivan Shuckles. I don't know if I need to read any more from Ivan Shuckles. Lynn's Vids 3847 also said, I'm not keen on shopping centers. I feel everyone's energy. We are multidimensional beings having a temporary experience. Once again, very well said, very true, and great that you can experience it. Your sense of the multidimensional being that you are is precious. Relish it, enjoy it, go into it some more, and just love that way of thinking about yourself, experiencing yourself, and living this life. Not everyone has that, yeah? Not everyone is able to do that. Next up, we have one from OG Vapor. This person says, and then there's me, who literally does no shits about any of this stuff because life is just not fun. Aha. Why do I care about what car I drive or where I go and what I do? Why do people care about these stupid things? I really do believe I am broken or an anomaly in the system because I just don't care like others do about this stuff. Well, OG Vapor, yes, I can see where you're coming from, and there's a few little twisted things in here. You're a bit sort of got yourself back to front. Okay, not to put too much importance on material things. Great to have that understanding. Also, you do want to be able to enjoy yourself, enjoy the finer things of culture, awareness, life, and your own sense of self, your own personality. Now, believing you are broken or an anomaly in the system is a place where you haven't really realized your uniqueness. Your uniqueness is pronouncing itself, but you're not quite seeing how that's the good part of you. That's the part of you that you need to relish and enjoy. That's the part of you that is beyond the material stuff, right? And I think a lot of people feel this when we have higher awareness, when we have a different way of looking at the world. We don't really fit in. I'm very much the same. And that is, in fact, why I started this channel. I'm actually trying to find the people who feel they don't fit in, feel that this is something else. So that's why I created the video, and that's why I love having your comment. Okay, so that's about all we've got time for. Thank you very much for the questions and comments and heckles. Please do subscribe to the channel. I'm looking for your support to grow and expand the channel. When I reach 100,000 subscribers, I will release my full dating history. Never gonna happen. All right, be back soon with more.